Welcome back to my channel, everyone. This is Scanner Fox. Come back with a new series today. It's Let's Play Crusader Kings 3. But in this particular series, we're going to be trying to do something a little bit different. We're actually going to be trying to strive for the Dai Viet Empire, which is one of the achievements that has come out with the new All Under Heaven DLC. And in this particular achievement, there are two main trains of thoughts from what I've seen online. The two are basically starting in the middle start date and trying to create the empire from that, or to start on the last start date, which is 1178, which was what I have chosen and create it that way. Now, the great thing about the Dai Viet Empire is that it's fairly straightforward in how to actually create it. One thing you have to do is start as a Viet character, which we are. We're starting actually as the Kingdom of Viet, and from that point, all you have to do is conquer the area of Champa, the kingdom right down here to the south. So if you actually go to found the Viet Empire, there's only a few things you have to do. You are the top liege. Your highest rank title is equal to the kingdom rank, which we already have. You hold the Viet title, which you already start off with in this start date, and you hold the Kingdom of Champa title. So all you have to do is that, and then also have 2,000 prestige. Now, the one thing about this start is you are starting as a 5-year-old, which you don't have that many stats, and you are currently in a regency from your player heir and half brother in regent. The good thing about this is you can either one stick as this character and you're completely fine, and you can kind of shape him however you want because you really just need a lot of probably I'd imagine martial and probably some stewardship, maybe even some learning. But those are pretty much these are pretty much the only two that I imagine you really have. Mostly even just this one, and you can kind of shape him as you wish. Which I'm going to go ahead and take the martial um, uh, focus right there. Lost train of thought there for a moment. And since I already have Bossy, which is a great childhood trait for that, I think that actually ends up working out better that way for me. So with that, and if this character does die, the other thing is you could play as your brother and heir, which is just fine because he is unmarried, which I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to go ahead and marry him off to the kingdom of Dali, which is right here to the left of us, which is good because we don't really want any of these people to go to war with us. Really, the main thing about this that kind of makes me a little nervous going into it is that you're kind of worried about Song, which is right here to the right, and you're also worried about Dali over here to the left, and maybe even to some degree Angkor. Now, there's a lot of tributaries. I'm just kind of looking at it. That's kind of what it looks like. It's a lot of tributaries around the area. Um, we also are we also have an estate, which I think is pretty cool. I love how like most of the things that you get in the All Under Heaven DLC that's come out is that a lot of people in this area have manors and have estates and stuff like that. Like the Japanese have, I think manors, and I guess we have estates. So it's really cool that they have that, and you can start building on them and actually getting a little bit more as time goes on from those things. Building up your monthly income and also your treasury as well, which is also pretty cool. So we're going to continue on governor candidates. I'm not too worried about this as much because we are meritocratic governance. We do have prominent House members, which are these right here. We're just going to kind of leave that be. I'm probably not going to focus as much on that because the achievement itself is pretty straightforward, and that's going to be the goal of it. We do have different things like your merit rank, which, if you kind of look at this right here, the ninth to 8th rank, governor of a prefecture, which is county, 7th to 6th is province, which is a duchy, 5th to 4th is kingdom, and 3rd to 1st is minister of the Son of Heaven as an empire title. So these people, I guess, can get those different levels of merit, but that's pretty cool. We can influence careers. We can do all sorts of stuff over here. Send children to examination. Your half brother. I'm not. I guess we could do this, but that would require influence, which we don't have right now. So this is something we might like wrap back around to, because I'm going to focus more on what I need to do down here first before I focus in on this stuff up here. Advice to the Treasury. Treasury represents money that you have access to as a governor or hegemon. Open this to get an introduction to how Treasury works. Okay. So, in case you haven't seen this, in this realm, the top liege and every governor has a treasury. While gold is your own personal wealth, the treasury is only to be used by the governmental purposes, such as improving your province if you are a governor. The treasury is tied to your current title, so if your position within the realm changes, you no longer have access to the old treasury. But that's pretty cool. So this is kind of, rather than using your own personal income, you can use the treasury to actually do improvements, I guess, to like hill forts and stuff like that, like in some of the improvements to the left over here in the feudal areas. You are free to donate your own gold to supplement the treasury. In case it is running low, be warned there is no legal way of getting your donated gold back. Okay, if your gold is running low, You can use the siphon treasury scheme. Okay, so there is a intrigue thing to do. I figured that was kind of the case when they said there's no legal way. I'm like, wink, wink, hint, hint. You kind of figure out what's going on there. Let's go ahead and negotiate that alliance. I'm not too worried about this. I think he's about to get married, if I'm not mistaken. Is that what happened? Maybe. Oh no, it's the other brother. I think I just married off, so we can go ahead and do that. Oh no, must have been that one. Okay, cool. So let's see, this person right here to the left of me. So there are some different things we could do. We can also go to a little bit to the left to try and take over some of this land over here. And I want to see first if there's anything over here in this area that we can actually go for. So I don't really want to bring any tributaries under because that doesn't like get me any closer to my goal. But there is naval expansions, which is something we might look into. Will join the war at that. So, and this person is that. So, okay. So we just have to be a little bit careful. We need to make sure that we can do that. So let's just kind of be patient here for a moment. We're going to just build up a little bit of money real quick and build up a little bit of prestige and also influence because we have to have influence in order to do that. Let's go ahead and take the feline companion as well. And let's go ahead. Actually, I love doing this. I like putting them on the sides first because I just like the symmetry of it. That's just like an old personal. That's like a personal thing of mine, but not really that important. But it's always just one of those things I like to do. Anyway, continuing on, let's see if there's any other wars that are actually meaningful. So we have this person right here, which is the naval expansion. That's the person we were already looking at. This person right here is the same thing, which this probably is going to be the first person we go for, I think. I think I'm going to do this one first and then go for the naval expansion after the fact. So let's get to 30, which we did. And without further ado, even though that person's chest is completely missing right there, I don't know what's going on with that. Let's go ahead and join this. Let's start this war up. I'm kind of curious to see who all joins this. So it's only 928. Looks like there's not much going on there. Oh, looks like he actually was going to war with somebody, or like somebody came and attacked him. Oh, it was a raider. Oh, interesting. That's very unfortunate for him at that point. Oh, we're getting raided by somebody up here, but there's really not much I can do. They even have way too many troops for me anyway. So let's go ahead and enforce those demands since we already got them. And disband those guys. All right, cool. First war out the way. I'm pretty happy about that. Let's see. Anything else that we can do relatively quickly? It does look like this guy is actually pretty easy to go for. I think I might go for this. His ally is this guy over here, so I'm not too worried about that. This one actually doesn't have anything to do with what we're trying to accomplish. But I think the more land we get, the better it is. So let's just go ahead and focus on that as well. Let's have that person become our friend. I want to make sure that I am being educated, so it doesn't look like I was up until now. So let's actually do this one. This one's on 11, 7, 11 right there. So that's actually a pretty decent just stats across the board there. So let's focus on that. And we'll call Dolly here. I mean, it's a hit to our prestige, but it's not that big of a deal right now because our kid's so young anyway. It's going to be a while before we actually create this empire when it comes with comparison to this kid's age. So it's going to take quite a few years. So we can build that prestige back up pretty quickly. Let's set a new budget. You get to choose a treasury budget from a number of options. You enact a new budget for the Kingdom of Viet. Enact a treasury budget with the following effects. Salary budget set to salary allocation. Let's do that. Let's do this one. I'm not really worried about that. Salaries could be our primary focus. A strong military and a strong realm. So let's do that. Let's do the strong military one first. Alright, and we just want this person to be around. I mean, they can go and attack them if they want, which helps us out tremendously. Oh, that actually got us to 100, so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And we've already got up to the 4 domain holding, which is great. And we're not really suffering with troop numbers right now, so let's go ahead and let's do this because I know that control is probably going to be the one thing that we're going to need to improve on. And we're also going to set our development for this because we're at 39 right now, which is actually really, really good. But considering we're at the 1178, start date is probably not the best because like let's compare that to say the capital of China, which is at 60. I mean, I get it's a huge difference, but we do need to have some like some improvements to our development. So now let's go ahead and accept this, and let's kind of look at this. Since we have a treasury of 1,000, we can actually start to look into building some things here. Maybe, oh, because it's a personal estate, you probably can't use that. So instead of that, for the time being, let's look at the actual barony. So let's see how that works. So, oh yeah, see there we go. We can actually use the treasury, as you can see right there, which is amazing. Control is going down, but it actually is going up, so this is fine. It'll go back up. I guess the raid probably messed that up, right? The raid probably messed up the control of that county, and it's probably went down, so that's okay. It did say we have low imperial grace, so let's see. Koto to Song looms heavily over on your horizon, so I'm assuming that you can probably give them something in order to keep them from invading you. So let's do that. Let's offer a concubine. You must be an adult. Oh, I can't do anything until I'm an adult. That's unfortunate. Okay, well then let's look at this for a second. There really isn't much to do here. I want this right here. So I want modest rice field, I think, as my next improvement. So I'm gonna leave everything be until then. It doesn't look like we actually have anything that we can do here with these guys because they must have took over this land right here that we were actually able to naval invade. So that's all right. But this person they didn't. So I think that's what we're going to do next. We're going to wait till we get to the 62. Let's do that. Let's do a balance there. And then we're going to go to war with that person next. Okay, so we got the option for compassionate, which compassionate's not horrible. It's not the best, but it's not bad. But it also is virtuous, so that helps us there. And then sadistic, which is a little bit more, it's a little bit more negative. But I want to go ahead and take compassion. I think that that's fine there. We are at a negative 359 prestige now. I don't actually know how that happened, so let's look to see if there's any activities that we can do. Let's see, can we do a hunt, maybe? Let's do that. Let's do a hunt. I'm actually curious how this works with a young child. I'm doing this strictly because I want to see if I can get any prestige from this, even though I'm a kid and all that kind of stuff. Hire mercenary guards, absolutely, and then also we're gonna do jungle stalker because I believe this is a jungle. I want to say I would imagine because of where we're at that that's what we're in. I'm assuming, and we can't because we have to be an adult. Okay, that's what I figured. Anyway, continuing on. But we can meet peers. I think that actually is a pretty decent idea. So let's do that. Since we don't have really anything else to worry about there, we'll just do that. Okay. Can improve stewardship. Let's do that. Oh, it didn't work actually. We actually got the 25% bad option there. That's kind of unfortunate. I want to change this. I don't necessarily want. Oh, it's all got to be recreation. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. Let's do that. I'm sure we're gonna get the good one there. We did. Until next time, we got 150, so that's actually pretty good. 150 prestige for that is actually quite nice. And then 2 titles can be created. Let's see. So we can't because of that. So that's fine. And then that's Dolly, but I don't necessarily want to go and fight them because they're probably much stronger than I am, right? Let's see. Hold up, hold up. I want to see that war just one more time. I don't. No, this is Chomp. Okay. So, no, I don't really want to do that right now either. We can holy war for this guy up here, but I don't. I don't know if that's necessarily the wisest decision, but we could try. No, because we're not focused on that. We're focused on this down here. So what I can do though, they can create this and get me some decent prestige and be able to start actually going to war again anyway. So we did just create another duchy, which we can probably hand out to somebody. So, oh, Tanglong is our is actually our capital duchy. So I think that might be what we focus on. We just might keep that one for ourselves. I don't think anybody will be mad about that either. So let's see. This person is currently attacking this person over here. So if I can actually go to war with him now, that actually is a good timing for us. So let's do that. Let's go after him. And let's see what happens because I'm actually kind of expecting this to go our way. And we may not even need our any allies for this either. So let's all right, and then we'll siege this while they're there, and they can go do whatever it is that they're gonna do. Cynical or zealous? I think zealous is probably the option here, right? I don't think cynical is gonna be the play. So let's go zealous there. Yeah, and then that's what we'll do. Let's check out the dynastical title. It looks like, oh, we didn't get the stress. I was hoping that we might be able to get one of the good 2% rolls there, but we didn't. Because I'm not really worried about the stress as much as I am about getting those stats there. Brave wouldn't be bad. Stubborn would be terrible. Wrathful would be worse. So let's go ahead and do Brave. And then we get the 150 prestige for that anyway. So that's actually really good for us. Let's do this one. Okay, so we can do Vengeful, which honestly isn't the worst thing. Forgiving would be horrible for our stress level. Hmm. And then Shy would probably be the worst, right? I think. Yeah, I think we're just gonna do Vengeful. I think. I'm not. I don't really want to take that much. I mean, I know I said I wouldn't really worry about stress, but I don't want to take 100 and something of it either. So we're just gonna do that. Our piece, via expansion into the white piece. Absolutely not. We are not white piecing that at all. And we're gonna go here and we're gonna go after his capital now. Oh, but it does look like we're probably going to need to call this guy in to help us because it does look like he is focused in on that guy over there. Okay, so I'm kind of curious to see what this guy's going to do. If he lands on me like that, okay, he's not. Okay, interesting choice. I'm going to assault this holding real quick and see if I can 100 it. Okay, there we go. Enforce and disband. Okay, so I wanted to do that because I saw him taking that faster than I was taking this, and I was like, I don't want to get too close into timing on that, so I wanted to go ahead and assault it early because I could always, as an emergency, call this guy to help me. So that's kind of what I did there. I wanted to, because if it went bad and he actually attacked me, that'd have been fine. I could have called him, and it probably would have won me the war, making the assumption that he didn't capture someone in battle, but I guess it wouldn't have mattered because I'm a child anyway. He couldn't have captured me there because I was still in my capital province. That's fine. We'll do that. And we'll go ahead and put the Pandoranga house banner in the middle. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's see, is there any of these people that we can actually go to war with for relatively cheap? Actually, yeah, we can. Being that we're already down here and have taken much of Champa, we can actually start like pushing over to these guys just a little bit. This might be a little bit of greedy on my part, but I'm okay with it. Strictly just because of there's really not much that we're worried about other than assuming that Song doesn't come after us for some reason. or Anchor comes after us, but I don't even know if they can really affect us. I mean, they're at 6,382, but their ruler is 1, so I'm not as worried about them. I'm just worried about these guys down here to the south of me. And as long as I have Dolly as my ally, I think we're fine. Which was, I guess, low key is like the thing that's kind of saving this whole thing is that we have them as an ally, so it kind of keeps the other people at bay. Even if they were to go to war with us, they'd have to deal with that problem. Alliance, we can. We're gonna wait on this right now. I'm not worried about the betrothal of me just yet. Alrighty, and let's go ahead and let's siege this up real quick. And alrighty, and that should give me 100%. And give me all the way up to my max domain as well. So anyway, I think on that note, I think I'm going to call it here. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like in the section below if you want to see more in the future. Please subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot. It means a great deal. And my baby just woke up. And thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.